Hello, and welcome back to Tea4T. We're your hosts for today. My name is Sam. I use he, him pronouns.
My name is Esme. I use they, them, or he, him pronouns.
My name is Reed, and I use he, him pronouns.
Today's topic for today is anime, video games, and cosplay. Yes. And we're going to enjoy talking about this. But before we get to talking, we have a little message from behind the scenes.
Oh, Ramadan Mubarak.
Yes.
We never acknowledge any other holidays on this show.
Oh, no, of course not. Why would we, you know?
It's like the opposite of Christian-centric.
Exactly. You're right. With that being said, we're going to be jumping into our questions. And first, we're going to be talking about, like, video game and anime, kind of, like, mixing it in a little bit. And then afterwards, we'll talk about cosplay. So, our first question, what is your favorite video game / anime?
My favorite video game, right now at this current moment, is Overwatch. Yes, it's not a video game that has like trans characters, but it is a video game that I enjoy playing very much with my all my friends and my boyfriend.
I tend to play a lot of dating sims, so my favorite dating sim would be like Seduce Me, but other than that, I play games like Overwatch and such.
And as for me, my favorite video game, or video game franchise, I have a tattoo, Legend of Zelda, my favorite, absolutely. And as for anime.
Ooh, right. My favorite anime has to be the first ever anime I've watched, Sailor Moon.
My favorite anime would be Banana Fish.
Oh, yeah, and the shirt you're wearing right now. There you go. My favorite anime, I kind of jump, like, sort of like favorite animes. But my absolute all-time favorite has to be D. Gray Man. It's really good. It's really good.
Yes, that is a good choice.
So now that we have our favorite animes, we'll just jump right into what are some good trans representation within video games and anime?
Well,
who would like to start?
I'll give it to you guys.
I don't know too much like good trans representation in anime,
right?
Just because it's Japan, and you know they're always gonna have like a certain stigma,
right?
A little bit more than the U.S. from what I've been hearing,
right?
So there's not too much, but there is some representation in anime. So Lily from Zombie Saga or the Zombieland Saga, from what I've heard, is really good.
Right, yeah, same. I've seen, like, a lot of, like, although personally I haven't had the time to watch it, I see a lot of, like, screenshots about Lily and just all her friends being very supportive of her, and it's just so cute. Like, I love it so much. I can't complain or anything like that.
Well, I I guess I'll talk about the bad.
No, we're talking about the bad later.
All
Right now it's
fine.
good.
All right, fine.
We're
I'll
doing
talk about
positivity.
I'll talk about the good characters then.
If you don't want anime, we have video game.
Yeah, we have a bunch.
Thank you. Well, there is one of my also other favorite games. I do like also dating sims. Dream Daddy. And in Dream Daddy, you can make your own trans characters in there. You can make your own trans dad. It's great. You can be a trans dad. It's great. It's great. It's really great. And you can be, and isn't there?
Yeah,
I'm
not to mention
mistaken,
that Damien, one of the dads that you can romance, is actually trans. So it's really,
It's really nice.
especially
Yes.
since like he's the goth dad, and let me tell you, I love that so much. His aesthetic is like so good in my personal opinion, at least.
What about some other games?
Oh, definitely. One that I remember I was most surprised about was Frisk from Undertale.
Oh yeah.
I know, like, throughout the whole game, a lot of people has either, I've seen a few Let's Plays. I've played Undertale myself as well. But, I've seen a few Let's Plays, and people would call the main character he, her, but then at the end of it, this is a bit of a spoiler, like, if you do, like, the pacifist route, you actually, like, learn that Frisk uses they, them pronouns, which I think is, like, awesome. I think it's just incredible, and I definitely commend Toby Fox for doing that.
Even like Naps the Block. Also.
Oh, yeah.
Also non-binary.
Also non-binary. Like he uses like.
Chris.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
Chris.
too.
Yeah,
from
yes.
Chris.
Deltarune.
We're talking about Undertale first. Then we go on to Deltarune. We don't know whether it's a prequel, sequel, or just a whole nother game entirely. But it has some Undertale characters in it.
It does.
So
even Kara.
Kara, right?
Kara.
But Kara's from Undertale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Though Chris is like the protagonist in the newer Deltarune title that was just recently created, and it's really cool because, again, Chris, people don't really gender them. They don't really say, oh, this is. I mean, of course, fans will say like, oh, Chris is he or Chris is she, but pretty much you can tell that Chris is gender neutral. So that's amazing. I'm really glad that there are a lot of like video game developers, like more indie ones that are like definitely just helping push sort of more trans rep and non-binary rep in
Great
video
job.
games.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is why we play your games. Even with The Sims. Even Sims is like, stepping their game up, like with like making
With the character creator.
yeah, with character creator, and you can like people like trans folk and like trans youth can basically not has they can basically display who they are through Sims, and basically
I don't know too much about it, but from some of the stuff I've seen of like people making themselves as Sims, it's really validating.
Definitely, I agree. Because I know when I used to play Sims, I would always create how I would like to look, and it's definitely, I don't know, it makes you feel better about yourself. It definitely does. I can't say otherwise. Yeah.
even with Monster Prom.
Oh yeah, Monster Prom. For those who don't know what Monster Prom is, it's kind of like a monster dating sim, and you get. In the beginning, you get to choose whether you're like these 4 separate characters, and you can choose like what pronouns they go by, their name. It's really cool. I really like it. And the game it's fun. And it's also multiplayer. Like you can play as one character, and your friends can play one of the other 4 characters. It's an interesting concept for sure, I believe.
Yeah.
But going back to the anime side of things,
Anime.
there are these 2 series that I think one in particular that's really, really good, and it's called Wandering Sun, and it's essentially about 2 trans middle schoolers, a trans boy and a trans girl, and just like how like their lives growing up as like being trans and being in middle school, and that usual sort of like slice of life. And even like there's not even any of like the transphobic jokes or anything like that, which is like refreshing. And this is an anime, and it's also a manga as well, so it's just so good. I really love it.
Even with move on.
Yeah.
Oh
do
yeah.
it
So
different.
we.
Okay. Sorry, we're just looking at our set questions that we have. So moving on from the good, we would like to discuss like the idea like of transphobia in the anime community. For example, traps.
Yeah.
So would either of you like to kind of explain what that term is?
It refers to a character looking a certain gender, and then when you actually know them, you find out that they're another gender, and it's like, oh, they trapped you.
They tricked you.
Yeah.
And it's something very big within the anime community. There are a lot of characters that are like deemed as traps, so to speak. One example is Ferris from Re:Zero, and it's one of the more like well-known ones.
Yeah, it is.
And also Baka to Test. That one character, I forgot his name.
Oh yeah. One like they always
say
like,
that he's a girl, and he also has a twin sister who is a girl, and even they make it seem like as if the girl herself is not as pretty as the guy, just because he's a trap.
It like the whole like kind of thing around traps in the anime sort of like genre. It's kind of like played off as a joke, as a gag,
Yeah.
Like a running gag.
Aha, got you there. So it's something that I mean I personally haven't seen it. I personally haven't seen it a lot in anime as of recently, but I can assure you there are a lot of examples of when that's happened, and we could go on and on listing all like the sort of examples. There's Chihiro from Danganronpa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's technically you would say Haruhi from Ouran High School Host Club, even though some people kind of see Haruhi as more of like a positive light.
Yeah.
Although there are some problems with Haruhi and her character, and let's not even mention her dad. So definitely there are some problems. Although we have taken some steps forward,
Yeah.
there are some things that like are put out there in anime, and we've taken some steps back, sadly.
Yeah.
Even with this is a really good movie that I really love, but even the character Hana,
The movie Tokyo Godfathers.
yes, Tokyo Godfathers. They specifically put Godfathers because like they only see Hana as a male when they.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry about any of the sounds we've been making. We've just been told not to move the cards over the mic. Sorry.
We kind of been moving the cards over the mic. We are very sorry. But what I was saying, Hana from Tokyo Godfathers, they specifically put it as Godfathers. They didn't recognize her as a actual woman. Like they just automatically just shot her down from being a whole male. Kept on calling her a male, when she herself
Calls
said
herself her.
her. They even put her with other males when she specifically said that she wants to be with all females. And it's even though I can say I love that movie to death, I just hate the fact that like they shot her down with so much stuff. Like she even loses her love life because he finds out that she is a
No, that's not what happened.
no. Oh, right.
You're talking
Never
about something
mind.
else.
I'm talking about something else. I completely
Oh,
forgot.
goodness.
Oh my God. I am completely sorry. You know what? I'm not.
Her partner died was it the bathtub?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
he slipped and fell, and like,
I forget.
just died
I
like
forget.
that.
Yeah.
That's what
completely
happened.
sorry. I did not mean that. That was another anime that I watched recently. Not it wasn't even anime. It was a drama. Jesus Christ.
So sorry about that. But
yeah, but I really love Hana. She was a really good character, but
even though they could have definitely done her better.
but way better.
So, well, I mean, we only have like a minute, but what's like? I know there's one thing about the gaming community that needs to be addressed, especially when it comes to like trans and non-binary characters, or people in general. There's this
Even
you can go ahead. Say it.
No.
Okay. There's this one speed runner, and her name is Narcissa Wright, and she was a really popular speedrunner. She did like not Mario. Yeah, was it Paper Mario? I think. And Legend of Zelda speedruns, and she was really good. But then people kind of like after she came out, they were very they kind of like
shunned her from the community.
Yeah, and it's very saddening. It definitely.
Deactivated like all her profiles.
Yeah.
Well, we are actually going to get to the bitching segment, actually. Because we have a lot of stuff to bitch about. Complain about, especially about, like, the whole gamer community as a whole.
So, yeah.
Even, like, half of my friends that I play with, I don't want to play with them because I told them that I was trans. And they were just like, "Oh, you can't be that. You can't. Like, Esme, you can't. You're like the best girl player that we ever played with." And I'm just like, I'm not a girl, but okay. And like they don't see me as a male at all. They just see me as a female who's playing games. And that happens almost every single time I hop on Overwatch or Fortnite or any game that I want to play because gamer community sucks.
Yeah, I actually go through the same whenever I'm trying to play Overwatch. It's why I don't have my mic on at all.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to get to know somebody and then realize that they wouldn't accept me because of their own views.
Right, yeah. Definitely, the gaming community, oh man, I don't like... I do consider myself a gamer, but I don't like being associated with like that toxic part of the gaming community because, oh boy, do they bother me? Do they bug me? They anger me. Like it's baffling how there's this one game I was reading on it. I completely forgot what the name of the game is, so I'm sorry. But there's this minor trans character, and in the reviews, people are like, "Oh, there's this trans character and they force all this SJW thing down your throat and this character's trans." This non-playable character, you had to go through several dialogue options before she told you that she was trans. And it's this not an NPC that you wouldn't even stumble upon. And people are like, "Oh, this is so bad that people are ruining games. They're adding on like all these people." And it's just... What? Excuse me?
Yeah, even with Leo, I forgot how to say their name. Even Leo from Tekken 7.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The people do not know that they are gender non-conforming. And what gets me angry, they either say he, she. I'm like, they're gender non-conforming, so they use they, them. And when I tell them that, I get shoved down my throat. No, they have to pick one gender. I'm just like, the creators made them gender non-conforming for a reason.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how with Metaton and how the fans kind of like view Metaton. Some people are like, "Oh, Metaton is like such a good icon, this, that, and another," but other people are like, maybe not so much. So that's what, as much as I love Metaton, like the character that Metaton is, I kind of gotta like think about it and think about like just how better represented Metaton could be. Metaton from Undertale, that is. Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
we're
We're all
bugged
bugged out, it seems.
Rough.
Rough,
Everybody.
rough.
Rough,
So,
rough.
with that being said, we are going to jump straight into the cosplay section of our sort of live stream today. And who better to say that than our very own cosplayer?
Wow. Hi.
Yay!
So the two questions that we have are, what are some of the misconceptions about the cosplay community? Oof. There are a bit.
Right.
Yes.
There's a lot of misconceptions that I can go off about, but when it comes to being trans in cosplaying, it's a bit different because people think that you have to stay within your gender, not binary, but your chosen gender.
Yeah.
Like, you can only cosplay. If you are a guy, you can only cosplay guys. If you are a girl, you can only cosplay girls. And if you're, like, non-binary but femme presenting, here are cosplays that you can do and stuff like that. But that's not the case.
Right.
Going to the kind of the other question when it comes to crossplay, people like not sticking to their binary to cosplay because cosplay is about cosplaying your favorite characters, not really about you. I don't know, just it's very toxic in that manner. And how do I word this? When it comes to, from my experience, I've seen a bunch of trans guys cosplay girls.
Right.
They have been, for those that are popular in the media, in like cosplay communities and stuff like that, they get so much backlash.
Right.
Because of how much people think that you have to stick within your binaries and stuff like that. And
right.
I just feel like that's wrong. That's wrong because that's not who they are. It's a character. And I think people need to start understanding that cosplay is not you.
Right.
Cosplay is you expressing a character that you enjoy. And cosplay is not always about being accurate to what the character looks like.
Yeah.
Cosplay in its own right is a form of fan creation because nothing's truly gonna look exactly like the media.
Exactly.
So that's my hot take on it.
Hot takes with Reed. But
yeah.
No, I definitely see what you mean, especially since like they wouldn't say that to cis cosplayers.
Oh yeah.
Like a cis guy cosplaying a girl, oh, go for it. Oh, you're doing so good. Oh, this and that. Or a cis girl cosplaying a guy, like, oh yes, you're doing so well. I love you. As soon as it's a trans
so
person,
attractive, blah blah blah. Like,
as soon as it's a trans person, they're like, why are you doing that? I thought you were a guy. Oh, I thought you were.
Are
a girl.
you lying to us?
Right?
Like,
did you change your mind? Like,
yeah.
What?
Like, oh, are you gonna transition back? Like,
and then the thing is with a lot of people that follow the cosplay community is that they attack some of the people that they follow.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like, going back to the one person I was talking about, I'm not gonna give their name because this is old controversy.
Right.
But they cosplayed Ariel. They made an entire Ariel cosplay.
Right.
And people did not like that because they cosplayed a very feminine character when they themselves are not feminine.
Right.
They make a lot of like feminine characters and like cosplay them, and they get so much backlash every single time, even though they've constantly said, hey, I am not my character, and I have dysphoria, I have this, blah blah blah. It's just I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely, like, I know personally me, like, whenever I do cosplay, not that I do it so much, but I do prefer cosplaying as male characters only because that's just me. But I know, like, people who, they do identify as male, and they do cosplay as, like, female characters, or, like, all these sort of, like, really, like, high femme characters, which is, like, good for them. Like, they're living their best life, and that's what matters.
I actually. Ooh, you were gonna say something?
I was gonna talk about how we're going to anime next.
Oh.
Because even I'm going to be cosplaying a girl, even though I identify as a trans male, and like gender non-conforming. But like me personally, I feel like yes, I am a trans male, but just because I'm going to be cosplaying as a female does not mean I associate myself with a female. But other than that, like if you can't associate like me cosplaying as a female and like me actually being a male, then why are you here? Why are you here?
What were
Continue.
you
What were you gonna say?
Yeah. I cosplay mostly males.
Right.
But I do have a couple cosplays that I do that are female. And one specifically is very high femme.
Right.
Like, she is, like, very sexual in her, how she dresses and how she looks and stuff like that. And I plan on doing more characters similar to her.
Right.
And, it's something that as a creator, you're always kind of scared of. You're always going to be scared of if for some reason people don't like it.
Right.
And when it comes to doing something out of your binary, it can be difficult. Like, I cosplay Diva.
Right, yeah.
I cosplay Diva. I cosplay specifically ones that I go to convention raves for. And she has a little more cleavage and is a little more out there.
Right.
And I've gotten some people commenting on my video more than one occasion about that topic, and it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
I guess it all comes back to respect and treating people how you want them to be treated. Like, you wouldn't go up to someone and ask them a very, like, personal and invasive question. So, like, you wouldn't like it if I asked you this thing. So why are you coming and asking me about this?
Why are you even deciding or using the internet as a way to do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As if those boundaries don't exist. When on the internet, yes, everything goes, but also there are boundaries that you have to follow.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely agree.
When people cross those boundaries, they act like they're close to you enough to cross those boundaries.
Yeah, when that's not the case.
Definitely something that also is a very big thing with cosplay is that this is gonna be like an ending note, more so like cosplay doesn't equal consent.
Oh yeah.
I know there was this cosplayer that was going around like touching people without their consents, and at the time like she was like, oh, like, I don't know what you're talking about, like this, that, and another. But then it's like, no, that's not okay. You're touching people without them wanting to. If the character in, like, the video game, anime, comic, whatever, if they like doing that, sure. But that does not mean the person cosplaying as them
should do that.
Yeah.
Or even has the right to do that.
Yeah.
It's very much, hey, when you go up to a person, you don't immediately go to grab their butt or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't. It's not okay to, just because a person might be dressed very scandalous-like,
Yeah.
to use that as a way to touch them inappropriately. But, yeah.
Well, even though we left on like this type of note, but
We hope you enjoyed today's video.
yes,
Yeah.
we hope you like learn about all the characters that we talked about, even the ones that we haven't talked about, like I don't know how to say the name.
Which one? Means
Berto.
Birdo. Burbo.
Burbo.
Birdo.
Birdo.
Yeah.
Poison. And and even Link is like in the middle between being bad and good.
But yeah.
There's just a bunch of characters.
There's
that
just
you
a
can
bunch of
always learn
characters that you
about.
can always learn about. You can search up. We even searched this up.
We did a bit of
so,
research
but-
beforehand. Yeah.
Yes. So on this note, thank you for coming to watch Tea4T. All our social media is Tea4T show. Tea4T show for on Facebook. Tea4T official on.
Both Twitch and Twitter. T4T is on the Instagram.
Yep.
Yes.
And wait, before
on
we also go,
Instagram.
what's our social media, everyone?
Oh my God! What is our social media? Okay, my name is King_Leo_Wolf. You will find me and
On what
what
platform?
Instagram.
There we go.
And my full name, which I'll probably not say, but on Facebook, Esmeralda Gonzalez. Yes, I will shorten it sooner or later. But thank you.
Oh, me. I guess I'm next.
Oh, okay.
Hello, my name, as you would know, is Sam, but on the internet, I go by Dan. My Instagram is Dan the Vampire. My Twitter is Dan the Vampire 12. And for those of you who still use Tumblr, it's Dan the Vampire.
And my name is Reed, and on the internet I go by WindyBoyNotFound or WindyBoy.exe. If you know me as WindyBoy.exe, I pray for your soul. But on Instagram I go by WindyBoy.notfound. So that's where you can find me on.
Well, thank you for tuning in for today's show. And I really do suggest you go read Wandering Sun, as well as The Bride Was a Boy.
Was a boy, yeah.
The title may sound a bit but it's actually a really good like autobiography about a Japanese couple. So yes.
Please go ahead and watch all this. Please come
Enjoy.
back to our show.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thank you for coming to our show and listening to us jabber about this. But thank you. We love you.
Bye.
Bye. Well, since we are closing out.
Oh,